left it up to me, there wouldn't be a show.
Yeah, that happens with me a lot of times also in the past. Even though it looks like we've gotten...
But you managed to, you know...
We look like we've gotten over the hump a little bit. Let's see if we can stay that way.
Hey, listen, I'm doing a survey, okay? I was thinking about shaving my beard. What do you think, Rev?
No. You know who do you know who you remind? Do you know somebody on TV reminds me of you a little bit? No, he's not a TV. One of the hostages from Iraq.
Are you kidding me? Because you're the second person this week that said that to me.
Yeah.
The Raisin, the Washington Post journalist who has dual citizenship.
Yeah, him.
If you could find the pic, I mean, I don't see it. One of my neighbors across the street said it to me, and I said, I don't.
Listen, he's bald. He wears glasses. He's got a beard like yours.
There are millions of people like that.
So and I think he smiles like you.
Tell you the truth, in the pictures that I've seen, he wasn't doing much smiling, you know. But that was when he was still a prisoner.
You never saw that.
Hostage.
You never saw that he wasn't a prisoner. He was not a hostage. He was a prisoner.
Well, prisoner, hostage, call him what you want. You know, I mean.
Did you see him when they interviewed him on? It was a 60 Minutes. No, not a 60 Minutes. He was on. What the hell's the guy's name? The guy that travels all over the world with food.
Anthony Bourdain?
Yeah, he interviewed him about 3 weeks, a month before he got arrested. In
Iran?
Did a long show about him and his wife. Spoke about.
Well, I know he has a round face, sort of pudgy. You know, I know he has thinning hair. I think he has more hair than me. I know his beard is like not all gray, you know, but it's getting there. I don't know.
Elisa says don't shave it.
Don't shave it, huh?
Don't shave it.
Well, I mean, you know, my wife said, well, you know, you can always grow it back. I said, yeah, I can, but I remember the last time I shaved my beard was... Let me see. My dad passed away 9 years ago, and I was going to the cemetery to see my parents. It had to be one of their birthdays or their anniversary. And, you know, I remember this because my dad said to me before he passed away, you think I'm ever going to see you without your beard? I said, probably not. Okay, and I remembered that. And what I did was I went beforehand, I took a haircut, and I had him shave my beard. I said, well, I certainly hope you could see it, but I said, I'm going to grow it back as soon as I can.
Well, you could have done what Mary's brother did. Shaved only half his beard, and he had the other half was a full beard.
No, I wouldn't do that. I would shave the whole thing, and then I would grow it back again.
Oh, no, you have to shave the rest afterwards, obviously. You couldn't walk around like that.
Well, no, you could, provided that, you know, eventually, after a few months, it would grow back. It'd be fine.
Beard on one side and nothing on the other.
Oh, wait, you mean, that's what he did?
Yeah.
Why did he do that?
Just to take a picture of it. I guess when he was taking off his beard.
It's like doing a commercial for some razor, you know?
Yeah, he took off one half and then took pictures of it, and then I guess I assume he must have shaved off the other half. But he had a pretty heavy beard when he did that, so it really looked funny. Ladies and gentlemen, we haven't had a phone call. We've had a tweet on our chat room. No, you don't call it a tweet. I don't know what you call it.
And then what, the chat room?
Yeah, Lisa. I think she wants to call in. I told her if she's up to it, she's well enough, she's welcome to, you know. Well, her answer is, I'm not well, but I'll call in soon.
If you don't call in, we understand.
Yeah, that's what I said.
And actually, I don't know if Chad is listening, but if you want to call in before Chad does, then you could always say you're not feeling well and then hang up.
Well, what's wrong with that?
Nothing, because it would be true.
Yeah, we're not. Okay, what do I want to tell you? So we've got Sarah Palin, who's. I listened to one of her speeches the other day, and I must admit I had no idea what she was talking about.
That's what everybody says because, she just goes rogue. You can give her some talking points, but then she may hit on some of them, but then she just goes off on a tangent. I mean, what business is it that her son was arrested for domestic violence because he had a gun and he hit his girlfriend and threatened her and threatened to commit suicide.
Well, I think everybody in Alaska probably has a gun, so that's not unusual.
Yeah, I'm sure they do well. They do a lot of hunting, I guess.
Yeah. Hello there. How are you tonight?
I'm dying.
You're dying?
You sound pretty good for a dying person.
I'm dying. You know they always say you sound and look good right before you die, so.
It's true. I don't want to scare you, but the day my mother's father passed away in 1957 was his best day in the hospital. They said he looked great, okay? And, I was I was about 8 years old. I wasn't allowed to go. That was before they allowed children to visit, And I saw him. He went to the window. They wheeled him to the window or helped him to the window, and he waved, and I saw him, and he looked great, And sure enough, we got the call that night. So if I were you, I'd stay awake, Elisa. Especially with the luck that you've been having lately.
Oh, my God. I just can't win. But
No.
This is the time of year that I always get sick. So it's in my routine, I guess.
I can empathize with that because when back when I was working, and pneumonia and I used to be very good friends. Every couple of years, I'd wind up with the flu, and it would always develop into pneumonia. And it was always around February, late January into February. I remember one time I was out for about 3 weeks. One of my friends who taught reading, she had one of my classes make me a get well card, And then there was a time when I first married Ellen. It was December, and I came down with pneumonia and got sick. And that was when I grew my beard for the first time. Because I missed work. It was just before Christmas. It was about 2 weeks before Christmas. So we were off for 2 weeks. I was out for 2 weeks. I grew a beard. I figured, why bother to shave? So I grew a beard, and I had it ever since.
Oh, it's been a long time.
Why change it? Don't shave it.
Right, it looks good with the beard.
I think so.
I figure if I shaved my beard, though, it would be too obvious that I'm bald. People focus on your facial hair. They don't look at the top of your head that much,
Okay.
What can I say?
Did you hear about what I said? We thought he looks like, who he looks like.
Yeah, the hostage or whatever.
Yeah.
It's ironic that the Rev / Felix had mentioned that because, as I said, my neighbor mentioned it to me this week, actually, and I said, no, I really don't see the resemblance. He says, he could be your brother.
Well, listen, even if he didn't look like you, he could be your brother. That doesn't mean anything, but yet he does have a resemblance. And I think just the way he talks and everything, if you listen to him talk.
Oh, I hope for a reporter, for a journalist, he sounds a hell of a lot better than me.
Eh,
I mean, my roots go all the way back to Brooklyn. I hate,
And that's not a bad thing.
no, not at all, not at all.
so do mine, but I think
Nah, you were Queens.
I was
Yeah,
in
how long were you in Brooklyn
When
for?
were you in Brooklyn?
4 years, maybe
4.
4.
That's nothing. When you,
Yeah,
in the scheme of things,
no, it is nothing. But I was in Israel before that for almost just about 9 years minus a day.
and you don't speak any Hebrew.
Not really. Not anything that I could.
I got to tell you, I'm sorry to say that I really don't remember. Whatever Hebrew I remember is generally from a prayer, and I remember that from rote. Because when it comes to reading Hebrew, it's a struggle. I really don't think I could.
I never was able to.
No reading, no good. I could. I can't understand. Well, I might be able to understand a little bit, very little, like 3 words.
Oh, I didn't say I understood it. I'm just talking about with the prayers. I mean, I remember the prayers because I memorized them.
Well, I tell you, I remember when I spoke Hebrew, and
Back when you were in Brooklyn, right?
back when I was in Brooklyn, I still remembered it. Yeah,
I'm sure because you were only a little kid.
and I used to go to a synagogue and listen to the guys do the prayers, and they say, these guys don't know how to speak Hebrew at all. They mispronounce every word there was.
Well, there is a definite difference between the way a Sabra, who is a native-born Israeli, will speak Hebrew and an American will speak Hebrew. And in the prayers, you go into different synagogues and they sing the prayers in different ways. It's amazing.
They do.
You know,
They
there's
do.
not,
The Syrians are known for that. The Syrians do a whole different way of doing it.
Yeah, I don't know, but I'm just talking about the ones that speak Hebrew. They used to speak.
Trust me, I know. Remember, I used to work for them. They used to play in the office.
Oh, they were the Syrians, though, right?
no,
Yeah,
they were
Jack
Hebrew?
and Richie, they were all Syrian Jews.
Really?
Okay, I didn't know they were Syrian.
They used to kick me out of my own office because they needed it to pray.
That's right, and you were a woman. You
They'd be
weren't
like,
supposed to be there.
every day at 4 o'clock, they're like, you know what? You can go home now. I was like, oh, I guess it's praying time, huh?
Well,
All right, see you tomorrow, guys.
I got to tell you, at 4 o'clock, Felix takes out his rug, his prayer rug, and he puts on his little hat, and he gets down on his knees, and
I even put on some fake
and he
paces.
takes his shoes off and he faces Mecca, and he does his thing. Our Rev.
Rev. With my fake pace, of course.
Of course.
Anyway.
See, that's the difference in synagogue, in shul. You face the east. They say, you try to face the way, the western wall. So you face east. But when Muslims pray, you don't say they face east. They face Mecca, which is the same direction. But they don't say that because it makes it seem like they're praying in the same direction. They want to make it seem like it's different from Hebrew,
Mm-hmm.
Well,
that's why I got kicked out every day at 4 o'clock because my office. This is when we were in Brooklyn. My office was where they had to face, and I'm like, and also all the guys had to come in, and I had the bigger area, so I'd be like, fine by me, paying me for the day anyway. I'm leaving.
It's because they had to get a minyan together. Now
Exactly.
the difference is still in the Orthodox, the Orthodox religion. It still has to be 10 men. Conservatives and Reformed, a woman can join in. Okay, basically what they need are 10 bodies. Okay, because I remember when one of our friends' fathers had passed away, they wanted to get a minyan.